Hello and welcome to today's TA Charts live stream with me, No FOMO Charts. Today is November 20th, 2022. It's about 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. First off, I just want to say thank you to all the people who have followed my stream and my channel, and for all the people who have supported and donated as well. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it to keep the stream going and the ideas flowing for the charts. So this week, today we're going to try a shorter stream of stocks and crypto, and we're going to go ahead and get started here with stocks. So this week, stock earnings continues, retail week continues. However, in the USA, it is a shorter holiday week this week. So Thursday is Thanksgiving holiday, so the stock market is completely closed. Friday, the day afterwards, is a shorter day, so the stock market USA Friday closes at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So less about it's about a half day on Friday. So just keep that in mind. So it's going to be a busy 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So we'll just go ahead and look at some of the indexes here. We're starting off with the Dow Jones, DIA. And what I've noticed about Dow Jones is it's getting close to this resistance area. So just under $340. We can see that's the previous high from August as well. And that's a resistance point from April as well. So it does seem to be on the daily at least, looking like it's starting to lose a little bit of this momentum here in terms of the price action. The only good thing is we are in an uptrend for a daily. However, we reached the resistance point and EMAs are up cross. The price is well above the 200 EMA. The last time that happened was back in August. So what I'm watching out for is if it's going to turn into a bearish downtrend reversal. We kind of want to watch out for any signs of like a big pullback, lower high, and if it that because that can create a head and shoulders bearish pattern to the downside if that happens. If not, we can continue. If we have a breakout, that would be great for the bulls breakout and try to get this rally underway. However, we do have a hanging man candle from last week on the weekly, and that's something to watch out for. It's not exactly a shooting star, but that could be the start of an evening star pattern. We are waiting for retail earnings this week. So just want to watch out for that. Also, the 4-hour is up crossed and making a very, very short-term ascending triangle. So basically, we're either going to break out above 340 or we're going to retest 330.80, perhaps even 319 if it gets really bad to the downside. Okay, let's move on here to S&P 500 SPY. S&P 500. So turning off some indicators, the S&P 500 has been in a daily uptrend for 1 month, not quite reaching the all-time high for the past 30 to 40 days, or I should say the high resistance. So the August high is still way up here at 432. There is a target perhaps that we could hit above here at 410. Still in the uptrend on the daily. If we switch over to the weekly, we do have a doji candle from last week. Just want to watch out for that. We could continue up as well. So the bullish target would be about 410. The bearish target would be 383 or 373 down at these support levels below. The day chart is starting to exhibit signs of bearish momentum. However, it might not happen in 24 hours. It could take some time to develop. The price is rejecting below the 200 EMA, so that's something to watch out for. On the 4-hour as well, we do have, it's not quite super overbought in terms of way overextended to the upside. That's why we might get one more rally attempt if earnings are good. So the target remains 410, the support 383 to this downside. So we just want to watch out for, just like August, in terms of it looks exactly like this box right now. It's very similar, not exact. We could rally up a little more, and then if there's bad news, anything like that, and fizzle down or fade down. So just watch out for the two sides of the trade. QQQ. This is NASDAQ now, QQQ on the daily. Very similar to S&P 500, there is a trend line resistance above. The previous August high was $330, and we draw this kind of descending channel. We could see where we passed the middle point of 271, and now we're holding up most likely, one second, most likely above this 50 EMA, the yellow line. So not as much bullish, excuse me, not as much bearish momentum as S&P 500, but the 4 hour certainly in the neutral range of RSI about 55, price holding above 200 EMA. So the market wants to rally to the upside. Elections are over, most of the results are in, and we still have some earnings and some news, volatile news that's coming out in the next couple days. Holding above the pivot point. So 280 is really our support level down here, and the immediate resistance is 297. At least the only good thing is we established that double bottom, the higher low, and we're trying to go to the upside with the price. So if it's going to be a fake out like August, I want to watch for the one big dip that does not recover. So we could rally up, test the resistance, either going to break out or rally up, reject, lose that lower high, at least maybe halfway back down to 270. So watch out for that. On the weekly, there is that doji candle, almost could be doji or shooting star. So just want to watch out for that. But the fact that we bottomed out temporarily above 260 is good. And then the larger term picture of this bullish momentum could actually be underway. So it really depends. Taking into context the inflation, the CPI, the PPI numbers, and the stock market, the data just starting to show signs of declining. The FOMC interest rate, is to be determined in several weeks from now. So we just want to watch out to see if actually we're going to actually get a bullish reversal to the upside. Once we clear earnings, and then if inflation keeps going down for 6 months to 1 year, this could be actually our weekly bottom. Maybe. However, if inflation does not slow down, there could be this rally attempt, and then just fear that inflation's not going to come down fast enough, or if there's some kind of high COVID infection rate in a major country that kind of slows down supply chain. Okay, just quickly look at IWM. Look at the Russell 2000 ETF. There is a trend line here underneath. Still in the daily uptrend if we're looking at price. Just above that, under that 382 level, we did double bottom above 164 on the price. The next resistance level is about $200. It's possible that riding the EMAs, that we have a golden cross on the 4 hour with the 5200 EMA, and the support trend line in the yellow on the bottom has been holding quite nicely. So, if we can rally up to 190 or 200, that would be good. Some small cap growth stocks might follow along, right? See if we get that support bounce. So if we get that support bounce, the two targets are 186 and 190 area. If it breaks down for whatever reason, fundamentally 179 and 175 are the targets to the downside. The weekly, we do have a little bit of a doji candle, but still maintaining that uptrend. We haven't seen an inside bar. This could be sort of an inside bar if somebody wants to interpret it like that. It's not quite by definition. The close was on the inside of this weekly, so we just want to maintain this uptrend and watch out for the reversal of the price. Like I was saying, this almost looks like textbook uptrend, so at some point it might lose steam. There's a little bit of bearish momentum on the daily, but the 4 hour and the 1 hour seems to be still in that uptrend, so we should be okay until we lose that. So in the bigger pattern, if I zoom out on this price, we can see that the double bottom, this 200 is going to be our make or break level. If we break above 200, that'd be fantastic for bulls, because that means we actually hit our bottom, fear bottom for recession or inflation. But if recession is real and the economy continues to decline next year, then this might not be the bottom of all bottoms. Okay, quickly, we'll just do oil. Okay, so oil, these two targets up here at 85 and 96 continue to be our resistance targets to the top side. However, we did retrace back down. Let's see where this mini retracement is. Right into the 618 area. That's why we're on a very short-term chart. It was oversold for that one leg down, but I do want to note that on the 15-minute, the 1 hour, we see that US oil is in a downtrend. Okay, so US oil is not like the stock market. It's not one-to-one correlation exact because US oil is down, whereas Dow Jones is up. Okay, so US oil, just want to point that out to people. Oil in the downtrend, 4 hour, it's deep, right? Hit that oversold level with the bullish momentum starting on the 4 hour. Daily's in neutral, but at least it's trying to hold above the support gap level of $67. So if it holds there, maybe we could get one more bounce up to about 71 if that's possible. If not, you can kind of see where's the lower high, or it's gonna crash back down to like 67 or 65. So hopefully that makes sense. UNG still holding in this particular setup when we talked about it in late October of the potential support level. It's kind of flagging right now inside of this little wedge. The move volatility could be 10% up or down. It's trying to hold above that support level and trying to, on the weekly, again, try to bounce. There was clear support for it in the price. However, some of that momentum has kind of fizzled out. We want to watch out for, we're either going to get a very nice bounce because it just barely upcrossed on the 5200 EMA. So if we can get a nice bounce up to 2257, that'll be very overextended, and then people might take their profit right there for a particular short swing trade. So the support still remains in the lower $19 range, and the $21 area is still our resistance level for UNG. Okay, let's switch over. I'm doing a very short stream today as a changing the format. So we'll just do some crypto and then we'll and that'll be it for today's stream. So total, here we are still in the downtrend, the flag, and remember what I was saying from the past two live streams ago, is that watch out for this flagging down here, and for we could get one bounce, but watch out for the rejection. So that happened. You get a big sell-off, a reactionary bounce, another pullback, a retest, and the pullback down. So please remember that the FTX crypto exchange bankruptcy investigation and the lawsuit proceedings are beginning this week. So we're going to continue to see news coming out of FTX and all the reaction to that. Now the crypto market, like I was saying last stream, is if there's a major problem in crypto, it usually takes it could take 30 to 40 days or longer, maybe up to a year. So months, years, or months to a year for the market to stabilize and for people to kind of put all the bad situation behind us. New capital comes in, so then the market could have a chance to rally. Where we are right now in the TOTL, crypto market cap, we're retesting possibly this 737 billion low right above this blue line. So if it's going to break out, look at two scenarios. The resistance on the top side is 800 billion, right on this top side right here. So if we try to break out, that would be very nice. But again, the sentiment is so bad right now. We have inflation and we have a major crypto exchange and trading firm that went bankrupt very quickly 1 to 2 weeks ago, in a week, basically. So the shock from that and the sell-off shock, it's going to take some time. And the proof here is if we rewind all the way back to pandemic, that was very fast, but that was a 41-day crash. And then it took about 30 to 60 days. It took 78 days to recover back to the previous high. from 2017 Christmas high to 2018 low, that took 1 year to crash after we consolidated, right? And that's the Bitcoin Cash Civil War crash. And then it took half a year to recover back to previous levels, right? So crashes happen faster than their actual recovery, okay? Because the market takes the stairs up and the elevator down. So in terms of where we are on Fibonacci, still above that 786. So there's plenty of room for one more capitulation crash, right? Low high, low high. That was our lower high. Okay. There could be another lower high, but in terms of one more crash down to 500 billion is definitely possible or lower. And then maybe our bottom could be somewhere very, very obvious right here. But in terms of when I see one red candle, it's not enough. That's a falling knife. I'm not touching that. It's flagging right now. That's great. Fantastic. At least, we're not crashing every single day, negative 10%. So, we take that as solace. But 5% to about 15%, so about 7% average. If we break down 7%, where's the target to the downside? 700 billion. If we rally 700%, first target is 813 billion. We'll just leave it at those two targets right now, these three levels. On a weekly, it's still bearish, right? There is no support weekly candle on the bottom. I'm not touching for now as an investor. Again, 4 hour, it's getting to the oversold range, but it's not completely oversold to the point where we're bottoming out in the whole market. It is oversold. That's good. So we need to just extend down to the downside on the price as much as possible and then seek a re-entry at a support level for a long. 15-minute, 5-minute for those day traders, not 5-minute, but 15-minute, 1 hour, certainly at the time of this stream, looking like there could be a very, very small bounce. And what could change this is if there's a fundamental news change, because we have to remember that in the world, crypto regulation has largely not been enforced to the point where we're seeing with FTX right now. So FTX is going to be what happens after this if the U.S. SEC, the CFTC, etc., those government financial entities actually changes the regulation of crypto. It could be a major milestone in terms of what's happening with the crypto trading, etc. And they're trying to protect investors with regulation change, however. So just watch out for that. Let's go to Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin, the actual crypto, doing the same thing, very similar. It's flagging right now inside this little symmetrical triangle, bear flag. And the range could be 5 to 13%, right? So let's do 5% to downside will take us to 15.2K, 13% to 14K. It's not impossible. Not impossible. You just need a big exchange or whale to start liquidating, and then the fierce sell-off begins and the shorts attack, right? So these resistances on top, 17K, 18K, support on downside, 15K, 14K, K meaning 1,000 in US dollars. So we put on this Fibonacci here, Fibonacci, zoom in, still in the downtrend. This thing is not going up in terms of long-term trend, 1 year trend. This thing is going down. So we rejected down from the 21,000 level. We lost this 0.786 Fibonacci. The pivots, there are additional pivots, but close enough to the targets that I just mentioned. And so just watch out for any bearish downside. There is a large MACD forming on Bitcoin on the daily. The weekly, maybe this could turn into a morning star. Maybe you could kind of see you have a left, you have a middle doji candle. Maybe you can get one bullish pump up to 18,000. That would be nice. Let's at some point when all the fear and the selling stops, we should get a retest. That's presuming we're not going to crash, right? So that's why you could just imagine like a bar like this, a weekly bar. It's going to be up, it's going to be down, right? Or even sideways, like inside bar for a weekly. So you just kind of anticipate that ahead of time. Now the 4 hour, we're just testing. We lost that but it's in the oversold short-term condition right now, not extreme oversold, right? If we're talking about a flash crash, Bitcoin went down to about 5 RSI. So right now it's 33. It's not even in the oversold range. The hour, we're still holding that lower trend line. The right side of that bullish momentum has not formed yet, so this is a little too early on the 1 hour, but day traders like at a 15-minute, they're certainly probably going to try to scout out some long entries in this area. However, I don't really day trade crypto as much right now anymore because of what's happening. I'm taking a step back from experience. I know when the market crashes, sometimes best thing to do is walk away, meaning don't buy and just wait. All right, so that's Bitcoin. Let's move on to Ethereum. We'll do a couple and then we're going to close out the stream. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. Ethereum USD still in the downward angle of this, still in the downward angle of the trend. Now they're all, at least Ethereum has these left support lines that are definitely, we're trying to hold that. Kind of an ugly pattern here. This actually would turn into almost like an intraday descending triangle. But the fact that we already tested 2 streams ago, I said we're going to test this level right here at the 1300 area. We did test that. We faded back down. Weekly, still, the week's about to start, so this is not a fair, really comparison. It's due at the next week. But 4 hour, we lost that descending triangle. And what I'm saying is this one, this descending triangle, we actually lost it. So that's not good. What's the measure move of that? 7% to about 14%. So 7% would take us down to this gray line, 1100. 1100. 14% from the breakout spot would be 1000. Okay, so 1100 and 1000 on Ethereum. We're probably going to test this liquidity zone again, this 1089. So watch out for that. It's in a clear downtrend. Even the EMAs are telling us this thing is in a downtrend. Okay, so if we want to be very, very conservative, I'm personally not going to buy yet. I want to see things get extremely oversold and capitulation. Everybody fears selling off in the world. When there's maximum fear in the world and there's a setup on the charts, I might consider buying in again. But the FTX investigation, that kind of needs to end. And the reverse is true. The other crypto exchanges in the world have to do something to ensure their customers and their clients and what's going on with their funds and their protocols and the regulation in their country and exchange as well. We already seen some crypto exchanges in the past week make announcements as in regards to those topics. So the 786 is 1097. The 0.88 is way down here at 660. This is kind of our extremely bad case scenario on Ethereum. But keep in mind, it is in a downtrend right now. So I could see Ethereum over time, one bearish scenario, this thing could crash all the way down to 600, 500 range. And then there would be an interesting bullish setup reversal there for deep value investors. Let's look at Binance Coin. Okay, we'll erase this right now. BNB USDT. All right, so BNB USDT is still in a downtrend. Now, what we want to watch out for is this attempted wedge. So why do we have this pop up? Well, it was pop up and then we oversold back down into the FTX crash. But it crashed back down to actually a support level. This does not look really healthy. It tried to be higher low. We tried to get all bullish here, but the trend is kind of not really confirmed. This could be considered a breakout of the downtrend, but at the same time, this support level of 250 needs to never be broken to the downside, basically for like 1 year, if it's going to be really sustainable. Because we can see, even though we have this triangle, the support level is 200, 160, 115, and $100. Keep in mind that Binance Coin used to be $10. Now it's right now it's 261. So the valuation is kind of high, the price of this crypto asset right now, and things are kind of murky. It's a little unclear exactly what's going on with Binance right now. So 4 hour, it's not completely oversold. The 1 hour is getting into that oversold range, still in the down cross, the downtrend. So please keep in mind that crypto is down. Stocks went up for 30 days, right? There's that inverse correlation right now. But stocks went up because we had good earnings on some companies, mixed earnings as well. But Binance Coin, that's pretty much it. Is if we watch out for 250 down here, then you can see there's all these supports on the left side, 238, 219, 205, and 191. Resistance is 296, 335. If we ever get up to 400 ever again, possibly in the next year. There is this little MACD forming. I do see it as well. It is an open cross, so the support, but it is down cross, right? So our indicators are conflicting right now. That's why I just view this as mixed. Really depends on the crypto industry. FTX, that needs to be finalized, and the policy needs to change from that as well. You refresh my chat. Okay, I usually don't do these types of like USD MXN or Euro MXN. We'll take a look at it, but if it's a very small asset, I'm not gonna chart it. Oh, I thought it was a crypto. You're talking about the peso. Okay. Okay, we could do this one. I thought it was like a low liquidity crypto. All right. So we'll end here after Forex. All right, US dollar, Mexican peso. So what's going on here in the weekly? We see we have a very, very large, from 2008, very nice uptrend rally, right? But where we are right now, this is the weekly chart, very, very long term. Okay, we just actually lost the support above. This is a request by somebody on TradingView. We lost the support above $19.62. So on the weekly, could be very suspicious, right? You could kind of see a large descending triangle here in this blue highlight. Okay, that doesn't mean it's going to crash to nothing, but if it does, let's say if this whole thing is a topping out, because the USD MXN has been rallying ever since 2008, so there were some fundamental obvious changes here, right? But it could be looked at two ways. One way is, well, whenever it breaks below that 200 EMA, it does seem to be a low spot for the past 14 years, even up to the pandemic, right? But the fact is, it did bounce off of this 1 year ago. The problem is we actually are, if you zoom into the current action right now, we are below the 200 EMA. That hasn't happened for a long time. We almost had this upside down head and shoulders on USD MXN, but it's broke bearish. Okay, so some people are trying to buy this right now. I would look for just oversold opportunities, which this one could be, right? We have to keep in mind for Forex, there's country-based politics, government fundamentals, inflation, interest rate changes, recession risk, GDP, unemployment, all these things come into play. But in terms of just looking for oversold setup, interesting. But it looks like the last time in June or the last time somewhere in April, and even now, we could get a little bit of a pop. It's possible, pop up to the upside, because it has come into this oversold range. But don't quote me on that. This is potential, and this is not financial advice. So in terms of the exact spot was 1926. Because that I can see the setup there where we went sideways and then this starts to rally the momentum and then you get the little bullish pop up. If somebody's trying to trade this on like a 1 hour, there was that little triangle breakout. Basically, there was that triangle breakout and it was tested. So let's measure that just to get you some targets. It was about 0.72% and it hit that target. The second target, 1.51%, is about here in 1964. So if it gets up to that range, that'd be nice. So this kind of reminds me of S&P 500 and QQQ is tracking a little bit the correlation. So you just want to watch out for that as long as it doesn't break down below like 1942, 1938, or 1930. Um, there could be one more leg up, but I would caution if Dow Jones and S&P 500 and Nasdaq, USA stock indexes start crashing, this might crash down too. So just be aware of that. And let's take a quick look at Euro MXN. So the euro and the pound did actually rally. So the USD MXN is not as overextended to Euro MXN. Euro MXN is already overextended. Um, Very interesting though. At least on the weekly, there was this very, very strong double bottom weekly setup. So that's why if it depends on if somebody's an investor, this could be a relative bottom here just because of the chart setup, but government politics and policies could change that. We are in a down cross though. So I would be careful. Is the way to tell if this is going to uptrend, obviously you could get a huge green, or if this goes back upstairs like that, then maybe a long entry could be good. But it could rally and fade down because of the powerful down cross that has not happened. That has not basically happened ever on this chart in the forex.com chart. That's why it's significant. So oversold right now. It was on the weekly, but in the 4 hour, 1 hour, this thing is not oversold. Right, so I would watch out for that. And if somebody just watch out about chasing setups, because if this thing's already up 5% up off a week of trading, I mean 5% is a huge monumental move in this, right? So just watch out for that. I'll give you some targets here. The next resistance level is about 2055 or 2092. The support level about $20 and 1974. So just keep in mind, these two assets that you asked me to do, these are not the same charts. They're not the same. We close out with DXY and a couple other ones. I went over a couple minutes. But DXY, again, we hit this 200 EMA. Let me just erase everything so people can see. It's been up crossing. It's never hit the 200 EMA in terms of support level since 1 year ago when we double bottom and started uptrending, right? So this is what I want to caution people for is sometimes you can get a rally and then it's going to fizzle back down, right? Or sometimes it's the real rally. So that's why we have to keep watching the chart. But in terms of this on the weekly, all right, there's a hammer candle. Interesting. The market, Dow Jones could be primed for a pullback, right? If retail earnings are mixed, which they might be this week, right? So the two setups on DXY is the resistance 108.72 and support level bounce 106 or 105.41. So resistance also 108.25. So this is in a downtrend. It's very subtle, but it's downtrending. So there could be a lower high bounce before this thing maybe fizzles out like that. So it could lower high bounce and reject to downside. It could lower higher low and go to the upside, or it could get stuck in this consolidation range. So I'll be I'm very suspicious of DXY right now on the chart. Basically bounced right straight off the 382, basically support level. That's what's going on. So it's kind of boxing before there in between those levels. But the big trend line that it lost. All right, so that could be the 110 range could be our bounce level. I'll just circle that for next time, and this is our support level for next time. Okay. All right, last one, Euro USD. All right, so basically what happened is what happened with a lot of global fundamental changes and the interest rate and inflation rate. The CPI PPI data is largely responsible for this, and new prime minister in the UK, etc. There's probably up to 10 reasons why this is with this rally. Right, so there was a setup when it hit that oversold on September 28th, and it started actually reversing and then popped up to our 200 EMA. So the previous example we did, Euro MXN, Mexican peso, looks very similar to Euro USD, right? It's right below this 200 EMA resistance, where the RSI is a little bit higher. Okay, 4 hour in the uptrend, 1 hour testing that support. I'll just stay on a 4 hour. It's not super oversold. It's not completely overbought. That's why all this support level on the downside can be risk 102, 101, or dollar. Watch out for that. We have a hidden trend line. It's literally testing it right now as we speak. The market is testing it right now as we speak. So I caution people, watch out for that. Um, if we do happen to break above the pivot of 103.6, there is resistance here at 104 and 105 as well. So I'm keeping an eye on this. If we can hold above the 50 EMA, get one more bounce, fantastic. But sometimes there is an inverse correlation with the US dollar, the DXY. So if the US dollar is going to go up, then perhaps Euro USD actually might go down to back down to a dollar. So you want to watch out for that. Just caution in the market. Right now, government policy is changing rapidly. On the weekly, however, I was telling people whenever I did Forex is there's a large MACD histogram that is kind of priming. So it finally bounced off this pivot point. We got a hammer. So this was a nice support level. And the USA markets, stock markets also rallied as well. Okay, everybody. So I just want to leave it there. For today. Shorter stream due to request for Forex request today. So I just want to thank everybody for watching. Streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, and we have a Discord group. Again, the stock market for this week only on November 25 is closed. So stock market is closed, on 11/24, Thursday, it's closed. And then half day on 11/25 stock market for Friday. Stock market is closing at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and most people take that weekend off. So I will probably be back for streaming either on Sunday the 27th or Monday the 28th, depending on the schedule. So either Sunday night or Monday night. So again, thank you so much, TradingView, for live stream opportunities and for launching the live stream service. Thank you everybody for following and supporting, and thank you everybody for chatting and donating all this time. I really appreciate it, and it's helping to keep the ideas flowing and the streams going. So I will see you next week. Hope you have a nice weekend. Bye bye.